Contractors, if you're thinking of running ads or already running ads and you're thinking of pressing that pause button right before your ad starts working, you have to watch this video. I'm going to go down and actually explain what you guys need to do. That way you're not just wasting money on ads that don't perform for your business, okay? So let's show you how to make some money out of these ads. Now let's take a look at this screen real quick. Okay, boom. Is your ad still learning or is it just bad? Okay, so how to tell the difference before you actually waste a month of running ads. The panic moment, it's day 9, $300 is gone, and you've only got 2 junk leads. You want to shut it off, and everyone that's ran ads has been there. They don't know if they're just wasting money. Why isn't Meta working? Why isn't it putting it in front of the eyes of people who are going to buy? We're going to find out exactly why that is. 1 to 2 weeks is just a test. So Meta's learning who actually buys, what audience to actually target it to. If you quit while it's testing and you try to pay for it and do ads again, you're basically restarting the whole process. So don't ever, pause your ads while Meta is still learning. Now, it's obviously different for everyone, right? Meta can learn faster for other companies than, you. It depends on how much you're spending per day, and it depends on the output you're getting with your ads. So, like this quote, this is a good analogy, like driving on concrete the day you poured it. You don't, make all the concrete, put all the money into it, and then just drive on it the day it's actually, being built. You're building yourself a foundation for your business. You don't want to ruin it while it's building. So, like I said, 30 days on a bad ad is just a wasted month. A bad ad won't fix itself. What it's basically saying is if you're in the learning phase and Meta's telling you your ad's bad, but you think it's just a learning phase and you wait more and more, you have to find out if your ad is performing bad. So Meta's learning phase will tell you that. The 3 checks. So you got to stop and watch, okay? If your ad is a video, you want to see what the hook rate is. You want to make sure 1 in 4 people are staying at least to the 3 seconds of the video. That's a 25% hook rate. So there you go. Out of 100 people, 25% is actually staying past the 3 seconds. Now you want to look at the click-through rate. You want to make sure it's under a 3. So it's only costing you $3 for someone to click onto your ad, and the call. So 1 in 10 clicks becomes a lead. This is really, really important. You want to see how many people are actually looking at your ad versus how many people are actually clicking the call button, the message button, the free quote button. You want to have that all tracked down. Let's just say you have your ads connected to a landing page and they press on the free quote button, takes them to the landing page, they fill out the form, whatever they have to do, that counts as a lead. If they go on the landing page, look at it, and there's no offer, there's no hook, they're obviously not going to fill anything out because there's no clear direction of where to go. So there could be different variables of why your ad isn't performing the way it is. Like I said, it could be the visual. Your ad's just not appealing enough. It doesn't have a good hook, good offer. It could be that. Now, you could check that as well. Like I just said, it could be the system that you're running, the funnel. When people do click that call button, are you picking up the phone? When people do click that messenger button, do you have an automation text that texts them right away to nurture the lead? Or if you have a landing page, is there a good offer, good hook, or a clear direction of what to do next? You need to make sure all your ads have that to actually have a good ad that's worth testing. If you don't have any of that, then your Meta ad is testing and it's not performing the way you want it. You're going to be in the testing phase for way longer than you want to be, okay? You're going to be wasting money for months and months and months. Make sure your ads are good and you will get past that learning phase within like a week, 2 weeks. So, learning versus failing, the cost per lead drops over the weeks. Like I said, if you have a good ad, your cost per lead is going to be dropping slowly. At first, you'll probably have a high cost per lead just because Meta's put so much money into the ad that when it's finally found its buyer, your cost per lead's like $50, $60, $70. But now that it's found its lead, it's gonna put more money into that ad, and eventually over time that cost per lead is going to be going down because it's found its winning ad and it knows what to target to, basically dropping your cost per click, cost per lead after a while. So learning gets cheaper, failing gets worse. You don't want to fail, okay? If you're failing, the cost per lead obviously gets higher and higher and higher. You'll be able to tell after at least, I'd say, 7 days after running the ad. Do check that because I know Meta updated it as well. It used to be 2 weeks, now it's 1 week. So have your ads up for 1 week at least and check the matrix on it. Make sure that you're actually running an ad that's working. If it's not, then it's just wasting money for you. Pick your numbers first. So set a clear direction, a clear goal. $700 for 30 days. If it's $40 for 30 days, that's $1,200. You want to put a price of how much you're willing to spend for the month and just let the ads run. Now, unless the 3 checks fail, like I went and talked about in the last few slides, the hook, the cost per lead, and the funnel, are people actually calling you, filling out the form, whatever it is. You got to make sure those are in check. And if they're not, change the ad and just keep the plan going. So you always, always, always want to quit bad ads fast, and give good ads the time. So if you see an ad is performing bad after the 7 days, you change it that day, okay? So you always want to refresh your ads. If they're not performing well, you want to change it, okay? This is exactly what I use for my clients, okay? So when they are spending, I make sure they're having a good amount spent per day. With Meta, you're able to spend a budgeted amount per day, which is really cool because it doesn't just take out of your bank account. You actually have a planned set amount. And for the month of running ads, you always want a dedicated amount of spend that you're doing. So if it's whether it's $40 a day, $100 a day, $300 a day, you want to keep that spend and you want to test your ads. So like I said, the first 7 days you want to have a few ads testing. With $40 of ad spend, I'd recommend at least 4 ads that you could be testing out. That's $10 each ad. And you want to see after the 7 days, what the results, what the data was. Were people, watching through the first 3 seconds of the video? Were people, did you have a good offer? Did you have a good call to action, like a free quote, going to a landing page, or a call button, or a messenger button? You got to have all those things set up for your business, and after the 7 days, you'll be able to tell if the ad's working well. If not, you need to make changes fast with your ads, and you got to keep letting Meta learn and learn and learn. That's all it takes, and the money will go down more and more and more in time. Your cost per lead will get way lower. I know people are just like, man, like this $70 cost per lead is crazy. Like, I can't handle this, and then boom, that $70 cost per lead turns into an actual paying job. You're getting paid thousands, and then that ad itself is performing well. So Meta keeps putting that ad in front of more and more eyes, and boom, your cost per lead gets lower and lower. That $70 can go to $20, and you're getting $20 cost per leads that are getting you $1,000 jobs. So there you go. You have the blueprint yourself. You're able to use this for your business. If you do want some help, though, I help contractors out with their Meta ads, building out the whole system for them. If this does sound like a bunch of gibberish, comment down below, and I'll try my best to help you out. That way we can get your Meta ads up and going, get that testing phase, and get you some clients for the month. So if you guys have anything else, put it down in the comments. I'll read, any of the comments that are down there. And if not, you guys have a great day. See you on the next one.